Hello and welcome back to Money Manager's A User's Guide. I'm Nathan Peters. Happy 2021. Wherever you are in the world, we all need a bit of New Year cheer, that's for sure. So I thought I'd kick off the year taking the lid off the biggest breakout star of 2020, Kathy Wood and her team at ARK Invest. I don't know about you, but this innovation-focused investing team has absolutely been blowing up my social media feed as their funds have nailed the recent market environment. ARK took on some very big, very controversial stock-specific bets pre-COVID and was vindicated as the pandemic accelerated most of the themes they were working on, with the blemish of having lost a little money in the Wirecard fraud. Their flagship innovation ETF was up 152% last year, with no one else able to catch them. As a result, they raked in over $12.5 billion of new investor capital by early December. And kudos to them because they've done it in the most public, most transparent, most dynamic manner I think I've ever seen in my career, with a concerted PR and open research effort before they made their windfall. It also doesn't hurt their social media score that they've committed to disclosing their entire portfolio at the end of every business day. Let's hope this becomes industry best practice, even for actively managed funds such as ARK. I mean, after all, if you're long stock and you have valid reasons to be so, why wouldn't you disclose? No one is squeezing you short, and you're not as big as Vanguard, so running is less of an issue. Let the world know what you know. If you convince them, it's good for your performance. Unfortunately, some managers just don't want to deal with the sustained scrutiny such regular disclosures would put them under. And I get it. I'm all for a nice, quiet life. But as you can see by the existence of this channel, sometimes you have to put aside what you want to do and you have to do what you know is right. So shall we crack open Venn here and see what drove their returns? Great, let's get into it. First of all, we can try to add a proxy here within Venn to see if anyone else looks like ARK. Right here. And nope, just another ARK fund. The closest I could come to really was the subject of a prior video, link in the description below, the Bailey Gifford American Fund, and I have it right here. Both of them are Tesla devotees, and if I compare their factor exposures, ARK is like Bailey Gifford, only extra. More equity risk, more small cap risk, more US stock risk, more low quality, and more anti-value risk. Interestingly, the momentum factor isn't really getting picked up here, even though they're in some of the biggest Momo stocks. My working thesis on this is that these funds are so concentrated in such idiosyncratic situations that the covariance they throw off doesn't map to a generalized momentum factor. Rather, it just gets assigned to residual or alpha. And if we go down to the factor contributions to return, they both make a ton of it, more than 14% annually since inception 7 years ago. As we mentioned in our Bailey Gifford review, though, sometimes this alpha is quite fleeting and hard to attribute to a durable competitive advantage. Sometimes people just make decisions that happen to align with the stars. But if we move down the rolling factor contributions to returns chart, you can make the case that ARK's alpha has been more consistent over time and not so dependent on 2020. The cumulative chart also makes that point, with ARK in brown here adding a lot of value in 2017 as well. So in the end, I doff my cap to you, ARK, for innovating in the asset management industry and for delivering the growing hordes who are your clients a handsome return. See, I can be nice when I want to as well. Just watch out below if, one, their companies disappoint versus the sky-high expectations they have, or two, rates come up off the all-time low floor. Hyper-growth companies are very sensitive to the discount rate, as most of their perceived value is forecast further out in time. But that's a topic for another broadcast. That's all for this edition of Money Managers, A User's Guide. Thank you for joining me this year. And if you're new to the channel, check out all the other fun content we created last year. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz. Peace out.